less than 20,000 Chamoros that can speak the language today. Most of them are older. And so it's those are not good statistics, which is why it's so important that everyone who wants to learn Chamorro, that we support them. We give them resources. We guide them.
And I dikiki zo and I hope zo humuk I finot Chamorro za ejina utungo I finot Chamorro lo ti komentuso sesu I finot Chamorro sa importante na utungo importante para mananaho na utungo komentus ki fino English sa ejui ma expecta giningwaho. Because mangaigi ki class loki mangaigi ki pajitus ki class pajitus za guanabay mengwentusam lo man mamalo ki class. So 21 dia timan mamalo sa timatungo I lingko ita.
For those who don't know it, there's sometimes a feeling of emotional loss. Why don't I know it? But for those who did learn it, sometimes there's feelings of why was I punished for speaking it? Why was I told that it was bad to know this language, right? And so when people talk about how, esti decolonization, tibaliano, importantiano, there's many ways that we can talk about decolonization, and one of them is strengthening our relationship to our language. Is that colonizers came and said, that language is not important, don't teach it to your kids. And our parents and our grandparents felt conflicted.
I always talk about this memory I have of my Nanan Biha in her last days speaking in Chamorro to my mom. And I was already in my early 20s at this time. And it was a pivotal moment in my life because I heard them speaking to each other and I realized I didn't understand anything they were saying. And I was losing that opportunity to ask my grandma questions, right? Because she was in her last days. And that was sort of the start of my cultural awakening and then my desire to begin speaking or learning Chamorro.
I visited Guam for the first time in 1997. There I had cousins, refer to me as a haole because my mom is of European descent. And so from that very formative thing, it's like, I didn't grow up on Guam. And my mom's white, so I'm not allowed to claim Chamorro identity or speak the language. I thought that was, even though I yearned for it, I wanted it, I craved it. I definitely shared with non-Chamoros that I was Chamorro, but anytime I was around Pacific Islanders or indigenous people, I felt like I had to hide that.
With so few Chamorro speakers, we think about the possible loss of our language and the possible loss of our culture that comes along with that. And that really got me thinking about then, not only in an academic sense, but also in a personal sense, how am I responding to that possible loss?
Really, it's some of the happiest moments of my entire life have been speaking Chamorro with my dad just in these past few years. And I also see it as my responsibility as an ancestor in training.
To them, we need artists telling our stories, sharing the beauty of our people, sharing the struggles of our people, and drawing our people out of erasure. So I would say that is the biggest thing that language learning has contributed to my art, is just this, it's really strengthened my own participation in the movement. I'm not someone who's super vocal or in the spotlight, but I'm doing my part of decolonizing through learning our language and saying that we are still here and we have spoken these words for 4,000 years and we'll continue to speak them, into the future.